We love it. As the last chance continues, it's time to head into match number 8.
In terms of legends, we're going to see a Bangalore ban coming through after this match, as the majority of teams have taken her. 13 picks on the Bangalore, 11 Fuse, 10 Wraiths, only 7 Pathfinders now, because losing the Newcastle and also changing maps changes the dynamic completely here. I'm also seeing a Lifeline on my screen, Gibraltar.
How about this as a
Mirage,
composition?
Caustic.
How about this as a composition? You mentioned Overlook. Well, AG, all gamers, Gibby, Rampart, Valk. What season is it? Speaking of Valkyrie, Sentinels, the winners of our previous game, all smiles, as you can see, and understandably so, will probably feel the most relaxed in the lobby at the moment after that big win. They do have a Valkyrie in their arsenal this time around to use to try and get around the map, and for them, I imagine, it's weird zone, fly zone, hide building.
Well, Zone's going to be heading to Geyser or Big Maud, somewhere around there. I'm not going to put you on the spot with a 50-50, but you can call it if you want. But you talk about AG at Overlook, they have a lot of priority to this zone. Furia, though, of course, and NRG will have first look.
Yeah, a couple of teams are in the qualification spots. Furia, NRG, Gen.G, Ring Console as well here for NRG. And a chance for them to go to where they believe this zone is going to be going. They're going very, very quickly. Now, one thing that isn't at Geyser is a Ring Console, and nothing. Furia have gone towards the vault.
Nothing for Furia, which means they're moving out a little bit further north. And similarly to what we saw in the previous game with Team Orchid, they might be met by a little bit of aggression from other squads trying to make a rotation through. Actually, I can see on my map, Orchid and AG are both moving down towards that vault area.
I mean, this is actually a really good spot for NRG to find, and they're actually, I think, a little bit worried here. Sykes is
seeing ghosts.
He's got the heebie-jeebies. He's seeing things that don't exist. They're probably second-guessing themselves a little bit here as well, NRG, because they're probably thinking, where's Furia? Why are they not here? That's where we believe Zone is going. Mouse! Giving E36 a horrible, horrible surprise. Aku gets the knock. Listen, answers back, though. The Maggie Ball has made this very, very awkward for everyone. Right drill goes out. Illy getting a little bit silly out here, and all of a sudden the fight is turned on its head completely.
I mean, everything gets a bit silly when Mirage is involved, but it's working out for Enter Force 36, who are back up to 3 now. And Miles are going to have to retreat, and Miles, who are down in 19th position, they needed that fight. They needed to win that one, but now 0-0 going to have to retreat and try and get them back up.
They got the first knock in that fight. I'm not really sure what went wrong for them. A lot. At the end of things, over to the southern side and launch site, you got Crazy Raccoon and Evo's having a little poke at each other, and Obli is down.
Patience now, though. So they're looking to see whether they can maybe get a free kill on some players looking to push forward, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Crazy Raccoon are going to just try and get out of there. All the meanwhile, what was happening over towards Geyser, Furia went through the tunnel, they met All Gamers, and then Furia went back on themselves, realizing that, well, if All Gamers are going to be pushing from Overlook, that probably gives us an indication of where this zone is going to be heading. Let's go back to our POI.
But Crazy Raccoon on a recovery mission. Garompu trying to get Obli back in the game, or certainly find somewhere to get his ban up. St. June has gone elsewhere. Haven't finished off, by the way, Obli. Still on his back. Falling away somewhere on the Wraith.
So E36, after their victorious fight just now, can continue to move down towards Thermal. Long old journey for them, as they're going to have to move all the way east to try and get over towards Geyser. But Twisted Minds are on the horizon here. There is potential for a little 3v3, because both of these teams are looking to try and play for the next Ring Console, which is in Thermal Station.
Twisted Minds going to use Fuse, or potentially Catalyst. You would imagine maybe Catalyst to hit that. To turn our attention to Geyser. This is where things are starting to get busy. We called it a Geyser zone. I actually called it a Geyser zone. Looks like it's going to Geyser. Making up for my terrible call a little bit earlier.
And you is we. I will claim your success as well.
As well as my failures, of which there are many. This is the composition I want to talk about that actually could work really nicely, just based upon this zone. Gibraltar, the bubble, towards that end game. With a lot of Bangalore's in the lobby, gives them that momentary cover in the open should they need it.
We'll say 2 Mad Maggies though. One of them being on Nemesis, and maybe that will be the Nemesis to Gibraltar. The one legend you don't really want to be seeing when you are playing Gibby.
Dropped me an absolute chad, by the way, with a Spitfire with barely any attachments on it. No sight.
They didn't really get time to do anything, did they? They moved so fast from Overlook straight through the Vault Tunnel. They were held up by Furia, so they couldn't even loot the Vault Tunnel. And then they went up and over to find themselves now in the place they currently call home.
Gen G just picked up a kill. That could be important because they were the team who were holding on, I think, to one of those qualification spots. Shopify Rebellion. This has got to be a story that we follow now. Crazy. In this game in particular. Climatizer their drop spot.
Evil Harvester here.
21 points on the board. By their own standards, not good enough.
2 world champions.
2 world champions, like you say.
Evil Harvester.
And an IGL who many people have said is the best IGL to not have a championship to his name. Well, now they're going to be tested, and they are being tested, and they're going to have to show what they're made of.
They might have a fight against JD Gaming as well. Shopify Rebellion on their approach. As Nose Fox. Sadly, their bad day just got even worse. Here's the fight I was talking about. Shopify Rebellion versus JDG. Zainu took a lot of damage, but Koiful now trying to take an angle.
Yeah, Koiful's trying to take a big angle here. He grapples through. But I don't know if he was a bit over-aggressive in that situation. Trades come in. Players very low. And this should be a pretty comfortable win here for Shopify Rebellion. Last player was down to very, very low health. You can see the way he's trying to escape here. Hits the grapple. May actually be able to get out of there, as I think that Shopify Rebellion probably prioritizing getting teammates back onto their feet and collecting the 2 KP. That's exactly what is going to happen. So points on the board for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, you have to be worried about potential third party rather than chasing things as Mao's get eliminated. GG have also just lost one. Go Next, taking the fight against them here.
Crazy Raccoon also eliminated in the meantime. Everybody's starting to fall. Everybody's starting to get a little bit frisky here. Funk is on his back, and Blasts and Light in a position where they've got to think about healing or maybe just not giving those audio cues away. Atenum searching for them at the moment and just can't find the location of those remaining members.
Twisted Minds are in the area with Go Next and Game Gladiators. Need to be careful. Also, Enter First 36 are currently moving towards this because ALGS have come out of the zone and suddenly walked straight into Shopify Rebellion. And actually, Shopify Rebellion, alongside the Ring, have knocked down one member of ALGS.
They get the finish. Oh, they don't quite get the finish as yet. Back over to the zone, though. Sentinels, 1v1. It's going to be Asia who goes into that situation. Took the 1v1. Takes down Sentinels. That's big for them. They're up to 4th now.
And Sentinels from first place to now having to watch the rest of the lobby, finishing in 17th. And it will allow people to catch up as GG lose yet another member as they're trying to escape and find a way to get back up to 3. And this has been a very fast-paced World's Edge game. A lot of early fights. And usually it's just because maybe in scrims people are being particularly aggressive. I think this is just people being caught on their rotations as ALGS get eliminated. Remember, ALGS were in 6th place, and they've just gone down in 16th.
And what does that mean for Twisted Minds, who just get the rest? They're in 7th. As it stands, they can happily overtake ALGS as they move in towards where this zone is pushing them towards. Balloon is available as the res comes in, but I think they're just going to have to take their time here. Wait for that final teammate to join them. Enemy's going to rejoin the 4 here. And Twisted Minds, this is an opportunity for them that they cannot let slip through their fingers.
Elsewhere, Shopify Rebellion have now seen that Enter Force 36 are taking a fight on the western side, and both of those teams are going to struggle now to make their rotation. Whereas Twisted Minds have to force their way in from the southern side. There's potential that if they land in the wrong spot here, they might get hit by Go Next.
I think they're going to be okay under bridge. Even though Go Next are above them, they can play below them. Atenum is on that high ground, but he's separated from the rest of his team, so I don't think he wants to be too aggressive on it. Over to Shopify Rebellion, then deep in zone this is, by the way. Force 36 are going through the train tunnel towards Thermal Station. That's on our screen right now. They're in 10th position, and for some reason or other, JD Gaming have a solo who's deep in zone behind both of them.
Yeah, they're both fighting for their lives at the moment. not just in this lobby, but of course in this whole series as well. Just in case you were trying to wonder which teams are currently going through to match point finals, you can see in the top ticker, any team highlighted in red are in one of those spots as now Twisted Minds against Evos as they land. JD Gaming have also got the respawn there as well.
Go next to behind them. This is the team they just ported in front of us. A really good portal actually from Albrelelli. I think he would have loved to get up onto that high ground, but Evos just made sure they were holding that space and put some pressure on. See, the Evos are trying to surround them at the moment, trying to get some angles, but Go Next are actually helping Twisted Minds, and Nate now has to escape.
All these teams down by the bridge might be okay right now, but again, it's so difficult when you look at their rotation. There's two different choke points you can go through, and they are being held by squads. As we go deeper into Geyser for the zone pool. But it could just be about KP.
ALGS just played for the next portal. You saw him pop the ultimate accelerant. This time it's going to be Hoodie who's popping it on the lifeline to get his halo back, but ALGS is trying to buy time, and the rest of Twisted Minds are trying to buy time for ALGS to get the timing on that portal, and yes indeed they've managed to stay healthy enough to do so. Look at the kill feed, by the way. Koifel goes down to zone, should be able to get res here, but JD Gaming are back in this game and pressurizing Shopify, who are moving now towards zone.
But JD have also lost one player to the ring as well. The ring is taking victims at the moment, but also Twisted Minds might be doing the same thing as Albrelelli has to go into the void to avoid the gunfire.
Cover comes in from his teammates as well. Crook says, I've got your back, brother, as he jumps back into 10 seconds on zone. So Bang Ult will go down. Go Next are weak. Well, Shopify and JD have this weird fight inside the zone still. Enemy will get two though, Go Next. Might be saying that to each other in just a few moments' time. They will go out of the lobby. 14 squads remain.
Yeah, now the zone's going to begin to close again. So for the likes of Shopify and JD, who have just only got into the zone, and E36 bleed out. In fact, they can't even make it to the next zone. Now Shopify Rebellion have to fight their way through against the likes of GG.
Yeah, GG not letting this happen without taking bodies though. MT flies in, he'll be down as well. Zainu, do you have a cape you could throw on? Because you're gonna have to be Superman here for Shopify Rebellion. He can't get it done. GG hold the choke.
Shopify Rebellion now left with so much to do in the final two matches here of this series. Are we starting to see the beginning of the end for a team that features two LAN champions and one of the best IGLs in the world? It would be a huge shock to see them eliminated. As Twisted Minds do survive, and as you mentioned, jump up into 6th place now, and they hold that final spot. If it all ended here, they would be in match point finals, but there's still a little way to go right now.
Speaking of final spots, by the way, Gen G have the final spot. The building that's deepest into Geyser, right on that eastern side. But Albrelelli is firing some 30-30 shots onto is where Gen G find themselves, and they were on the cusp. They were one of the teams going into this game who were right at the edge of qualification. Well, as it stands, you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, Gen G in 4th place, but only by a few points. They have to make this work. Evos will go, Jenny will go as well. We're down to just 10.
Down to 10, but there's a lot of teams on this western side of Geyser that are going to either have to funnel their way through the buildings or try and go up and over. But you're going to be pressured by teams like Furia and Gen G, who have those priority positions. All the meanwhile, Liquid are in the northern vault, but so are Nemesis, and I think Nemesis are hiding in the moment.
Well, one thing that Liquid have done, by the way, they extended in there because a Mythic Bin actually spawned, so they've picked that Mythic Bin equipment up and should be able to win the majority of fights on their way towards this end game. All gamers, though, speaking of end game, it might be the end of their game a little bit earlier than they wanted it to be.
A lot of nades coming their way.
Oh, no.
Maybe the bubble was used a little bit earlier because it hasn't gone down yet. Maybe they can just survive this one. The bubble's going to be up soon, but they probably want to save it for their rotation into zone.
40 seconds left until we do see if that decision is going to be to save the bubble or if it's just not available. It looks like it's going to have to be used now. Dropped buying time on the Gibraltar. They're going to send this while the fights go on around them, but can they get into the skies? Drops. Barely any HP, but inside of the zone. They will survive for now, but will the landing be soft?
Yeah, without a bubble to land, it's going to be difficult. Elsewhere, Twisted Minds against NRG right now. RRX have just lost one as well. Furia doing the damage on that other end. Twisted Minds are on the outside, whilst NRG are inside here.
Well, AG, by the way, did manage to land, did get a bubble down. Team Nemesis didn't get through the vault, and RRX will be next to be eliminated. Twisted Minds holding out NRG. Those cat spikes could be so important. How does NRG escape this one?
Oh, wow, and they've just dark veiled them off as well, saying if you want to leave, well, Timmy says that we've got one of our own, but remember, only Timmy can really walk through this comfortably.
Abrele trying to get the information on where everyone is by using that Q. Now he knows what side of the wall they're going to try and play. Blind fire here from Timmy. He's hoping that somebody gets involved with Twisted Minds, and maybe buying this time has been enough. Timmy unloads a clip into the back of his teammate. Enemy, though, eliminates Furia, but surely NRG need to seize this opportunity, need to take this opportunity to leave the building.
Reluctant to push out, and now finally someone else gets involved as Rambo takes a peek, and Twisted Minds are just going to be able to survive for now. NRG will shut down Orchid alongside Team Liquid here, but NRG just holding onto this building, holding onto this position, and Twisted Minds are going to get back up. No, denied again.
All gamers have been eliminated. Timmy now gets that portal back on the Wraith. They were trying to wait by the time for the port. Now that it's down, they have a chance to escape. Enemy gets the finish though onto Timmy, and even though he goes down, what a problem Twisted Minds have caused. Oh, and now we're going to see another player go down. This time in the zone claims another victim.
Just going to be a solo from NRG then to try and maybe make top three. GG, Gen.G, and Team Liquid, the other teams that are going to be fighting against each other, and they are all healthy and well. And you can see Liquid looking over towards Sykes here, trying to deny his cross, because where do you even go here if you're Sykes? The zone to your back, it doesn't matter. For Guild on the floor, he gets shut down by the Graber.
Well, Sykes might make a little bit more of a difficult shot here. From pillar to post, NRG will be eliminated. Yanya keeps it simple with the 30-30, and now you're going to see the impact that that Mythic bin can have. It's 3 teams remaining. GG, Gen.G, don't get it confused, on top of each other like you can see, and waiting elsewhere, Team Liquid fresh with a Kraber.
All teams in contention as well to get those top 6 spots. GG right now in 10th, Team Liquid in 7th, and Gen.G up to 2nd with the points they've already found in this game.
Boy, do Liquid need this.
In terms of compositions, Liquid have the Rampart to work with and have a Wraith to reposition. GG have the Pathfinder in case that becomes something they need to use a little bit later, and Gen.G, they've got Valkyrie as well. I mean, certainly the Valkyrie jetpack could be very impactful a little bit later.
Bang ult's going down though from Gen.G. I was about to mention the bang ults could be important. They're trying to maybe play for second, and yes indeed, Gen.G make the call, and they win the fight so quickly and so cleanly that Liquid have got to be careful they don't misstep this.
Liquid do send it, they take the height, and now it's a straight 3v3.
Yanya almost goes down himself, but his teammates are there. Asia taking on Jaguarez, breaks the shields, but it has its heart broken in the meantime, and Dexter, no HP, no hope, as Team Liquid will win the game here on World's Edge, and boy, does that feel good for them.
Team Liquid send themselves up to 4th position into those top 6 spots, in with a chance of getting to match point finals. A quiet few games for them, but they show yet again why they are one of the best squads in their region.